Alright, so this tutorial will actually show you one of the major warning signs that your air condition is in need of some assistance. If you have a central unit in your home, you should have two pipes coming down from your unit to release any of the excess water. One is you won't see it, it's going to go directly into one of your restroom sinks. The other one is like the secondary or the emergency notification. Usually you'll have a pipe sticking out of your house, somewhere around your house. The myth here is, hey, if your air conditioner is running good, there should be some water kind of coming out, kind of like in your automobiles. If your air con is running good, there should be water leaking because of the condensation. Well, here it's totally the opposite. If you have water coming out of this pipe here, it's telling you your air conditioner is screaming for help. So I'm going to take you through the steps on how to remedy this situation. But again, this is a key warning sign that there's something going on with your air conditioning unit up there if there's water starting to leak out. This is some of the stuff that's coming out of mine. So this is a problem I was talking to you guys about. That cry for help is telling you that your AC is leaking. So that overflow pipe that you saw at the bottom was an indicator that there's something wrong up here. So I'm up here in my attic, my air conditioner is in my attic, and as you can see, it is actually leaking. There's already a puddle there. Very important that you pay attention to these signs, because if not, what this will eventually end up happening is that this thing can get plugged up and it can actually begin to create water damage from your ceiling. So I don't know if you guys can see it, it's way back there. Way back there. So that little overflow is what's actually going to my sink, in my restroom, and outside. So when you see those warning signs outside, it's telling you, hey, something's going on. Come take a look at your air conditioning unit. Not that this is normal, but it is kind of like standard for this to happen to your air unit. One of the things you might want to do is you might want to clean your filters inside your unit so that this doesn't get plugged up. But what I would recommend you guys do first and foremost is get yourself a wet vac, suck up all this water to get rid of it, and then in here you'll have some type of exhausts. Look at that. Look at all that water. All right, so all of that needs to get cleaned up before it damages your home. All right, so if you notice, what I did there is I actually opened it up and a lot of water started coming out because there's some backup right there. See? So in order for that not to happen, you need to actually I got this installed. This is like a little escape valve. So what I do is I'll stick in my vacuum in here and suck as much water out as possible. And you can actually feel the water going in. All right, just to give you a real quick indicator of how much water, and I still believe there's still some in there, which I need to get out with the vacuum, right? But just an indication of how much water is actually in there. Here's my wet vac. There's some of the insulation that went in, and look at all that water that has been inside your system starting to overflow. So very important warning signs that you guys got to make sure you take care of before a catastrophe strikes. Okay, now what I'm gonna end up doing here is I'm gonna end up vacuuming all this water, all this standing water. I'm just gonna put the vacuum to it and just let gravity take its toll until I feel it's dry enough. I don't see that it's plugged up. A lot of the times when you have that type of little pipe going down, if you have this type of insulation, what happens is that when they come through the insulation, that might get plugged up sometimes. You're not going to get 100% of the water taken out, but that's kind of what you want. You don't want to have that overflow telling you, hey, there's something wrong. So just make sure, keep an eye on your pipes outside. This will give you a good indicator of whether your aircon is in need of some major assistance. Let me show you how much water I took out by simply releasing that pressure of that water. So all that nasty water, most of it is going to be a copper color because of that pan that was holding it for me has rust. So that's why you have that color. But notice how there's some insulation there. But this is how much water was in there before I took it out. All right, so that's kind of cool, but not cool in a way. All right, so be very cautious. Once again, that is a big indicator that there's something up with your aircon, either wherever you have it, in the attic or on the bottom. You gotta get it checked out.